And we're live. What's up, guys? Another episode of Sims Reality. The Ace. It's another Ace. Oh, man. Yeah, I think
Someone's knocking.
Yeah, she's at the door. Anyways, a few topics I actually want to talk about. Are you familiar with what do you call it? Fresh and Fit?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the recent news with Fresh?
No.
About how the guy got the girl pregnant, Fresh.
Wait, he got a girl pregnant?
Yeah,
a girl from the show?
No, so he was just dating this like Asian chick, right?
Yeah.
Suki, you have the thing to show on YouTube, like not like the full clip, but like so they can see who it is. Fresh, the black guy. Yeah, just go on YouTube and type in Fresh. Fresh and
yeah, we're live. Hello.
Fresh and Fit, and it's these guys right here. That
so
guy.
he got. Yeah, I know the guys.
That guy right there, that one.
Oh,
The darker skinned guy. That guy.
and he got that girl pregnant. She's pretty sexy. Oh shit.
No, she's like a Chinese girl, right?
Yeah.
And she's like she's from China, and like she speaks like fresh off the boat type of Chinese.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
And so he was like, okay, so basically her whole motive was like, you could tell like what type of girl she is, right?
Yeah.
And so this guy was just like busting inside of her, and there's text messages that show that the previous time she's like, oh, you know, next time don't come in me and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, yo, I saw a clip of that. I thought
Yeah.
it was a joke.
No, it was real.
That's not. That's. I thought it was AI or something.
No, that was real. And so
And he was saying like you need to get an abortion kind of thing.
yeah.
I thought that was fake. That's not real.
No, it's real. It's real.
Oh,
that's all real.
shit.
And so, like, everyone's kind of like scrutinizing them because they're saying the other guy, Myron, is like the one that's kind of like shouts and like yells and like puts
puts
the girls in their place. Everyone's saying that like you should drop this guy because he's just more of a nuisance than he is anything else.
Drop where? Who's saying to drop who? The guy that shouts and yells?
No, they're saying that like their
The guy that got a girl pregnant.
their fan base, yeah, drop him because he doesn't really offer anything to the podcast. That's what they're saying.
Oh, wow.
But like it's just funny because like they preach about all that shit, right? And then it actually happened to him.
I thought I saw that clip and I'm like, oh, okay, like another AI bullshit generated, whatever,
No.
clickbait. And I just kind of kept it moving, but
Yeah, so
that's a shame. I didn't know he actually got the girl pregnant.
Yeah.
That clip was kind of cringe because he was like literally trying to talk her into like having the abortion. Like you literally hear him trying to like, oh yeah, like, you know, I feel like maybe you're not ready for that and like it's, you know, you should have an abortion. I heard it. I just didn't know it was real.
Yeah, exactly.
That's unfortunate.
And so that happened to them, and then they got screwed in the sense where like their fan base is kind of like, you know, saying that they're not really true to what they preach.
Yeah, I mean, you can see through it. So I feel like all those shows are like a facade. Here on this channel, this is the only real show you get. Like this, what you hear is it's actually real.
Yeah.
Like there's no facade here. We actually practice what we preach, and we do that shit. We live by that stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Interesting, you thought it was AI though, eh?
Yeah, I thought it was because, bro, this is the age of AI, bro. Everything on. But I watched a video the other day. Oh my god, I should have sent it to you. And this girl, like I mean, gorgeous girl. And like it was showing the girl like she's walking in the park, she's taking pictures and stuff like she's a social media or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, "Bet you thought that was a real person." I was like, "What?" And they showed you the AI generated app and the bot used to create it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you know, it was like Alita battle robot kind of shit. It was, the girl looked so real. It didn't even have the hint of AI to it, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, there's a lot of, and I kind of traveled down the rabbit hole go on YouTube, bro. Like you should see the amount of fake female models. Like they don't exist. These girls don't exist. They have Instagram accounts. They have actual like, you know, fan bases and stuff. And it's just some AI generated like image or persona or this person. Like it's not, and the girl moves around, she speaks, like it's crazy, bro. It's actually crazy. Like I'm talking, like I mean, flawless hot. And I should have thought it was AI because I'm like, no girl is that like flawless. This girl was like flawless, like girl next door, dreamy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, okay, it's starting to make sense.
But you didn't see it look like kind of robotic-y?
No, bro. Like I'll send it to you, bro. I'll find it and I'll send it. It's actually you like kind of want to choke on your saliva because you're like, there's no way this is fake. Like I was arguing with my brother that no, this is not fake. He's like, bro, I'm telling you, this is like, look, read it, like read the comments.
Yeah.
Like AI is insane, bro. Like what do you think? Think about the best performing stock. I'm not a stock guy. Not by any for like that's like 20 years ago. But think about it. What's the best performing stock right now? Nvidia.
Nvidia,
AI,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, I know. Nvidia.
AI is taking over. It's
I've-
like killing all the stocks. Like,
I know.
Like destroying them.
I look at their stock, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, bro. Like it's insane.
Nvidia's
Man.
stock went up like insanely in the last like past like 6, 7, 8 months.
And all they're focusing on is Web3,
Yeah.
crypto, AI narrative, like all that's what they focus on.
What was the stock currently at right now? Do you know?
I don't know what it's at now, but it's insane. Like it's like outperformed everything.
What's the stock? Can you pull up the stock of what was it called?
Nvidia.
Nvidia, right?
Yeah, they're
Come on,
outperformed everything. S&P, high yield bonds, like
Nvidia,
everything.
Nvidia stock.
Everything on
Go Google?
TradFi, everything on TradFi, they were like outperformed.
So you can't put anything on Jordan before you set it up.
Oh, really?
Was that?
Oh, okay. So you can't put anything up there on the screen?
Not when it's live, no.
Oh, that's what I meant. Like, so you can't do anything like.
Before you got to set up and then you put it on.
Ah, okay. Wait. So Nvidia stock is at, I think last time I checked it was at like
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
300. I think last time I checked.
It's like crazy, bro. Like that shit is made. They're really like saying it's like the best, like it's the best thing that's ever happened in like TradFi, because like you got to think of it, right? Nothing in TradFi moves like that.
$906.
There you go.
Today,
There you go, bro.
Today alone, it went up $35. Eh?
And bro, take this in, like, and this is TradFi. This is not crypto. Like this, they're comparing it to how crypto moves, because only crypto moves like that. The
Yeah.
S&P is down 5%.
Yeah.
Nasdaq is down 3.5%. Like, and this is the 4th day in a row. Remember, the CPI data just got released yesterday, and it sent all the stocks into a spiral. Everything in TradFi went to shit because you heard what CPI is at now, right?
Yeah.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
3.5, and everybody's expecting 3.4. So we came in hot. Like, bro, this is bad. And it literally goes back to the conversation we're having. Like, I'm telling you, it's not looking good for the dollar, bro. It's getting, it's the proof is right there. We're seeing it every single day.
Yeah.
Now the Fed is actually saying they're pivoting now from actually rate cuts. Remember, everybody's looking forward to these rate cuts this year. There was 3 rate cuts coming. Now we might maybe get 1.
Really?
Maybe, bro. Well, with inflation that high, bro. Of course, you can't cut.
But wait,
you can't cut rates.
I thought the inflation rate was at 2.9.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Canada.
that's what we thought. But look at the CPI data.
What's
Proof
the,
is in
what was the CPI?
the
Does it show
CPI
3.5?
data is consumer price index, and it's
Yeah.
at 3.5. So inflation is nowhere near.
But what's driving the CPI to go higher? Like
Well, I mean,
what category?
everything. Just like the economy, the way like the there's just too much dollars in circulation. There's just so many variables and so many factors. And remember the whole purpose. Jerome Powell's main job is to try to keep the inflation numbers down, and like he can't do that when the Fed keeps printing money. It just, I mean, they're literally canceling each other out. These
Yeah,
guys
I
are
know,
crazy,
I know.
bro. So
They
it's,
don't work. They don't work together.
no,
too.
they don't, right? So it's like it's crazy. So bro, it's gonna be a bad period. Like you see that Forbes printout survive till 25.
No,
Do you
what's
see that was issued 2023 fourth quarter in November, and it was the talk because everybody's like, why is Forbes, one of Forbes' top economists, issued this, survive till 25. What that means is survive till 2025. And he called it. He was saying that we're going to see some real recession type of numbers, and we're going to see in 2024. So those people who could actually manage to survive till 2025 will actually be the ones that go down in history. Like he's talking about banks failing, businesses collapsing, and we're talking about top performance. This is Forbes. This is an economist from Forbes magazine, bro. So, and that was like trending. It was like, bro, last year in 2023, it was everywhere. Survive to 25. So it was all through TradFi. Everybody in
So
the
they're saying
space.
survive until 2025.
Yeah,
and-
2025.
And then you make it.
Yeah, can you make it to 2025? And look, and bro, it's not looking good. It's doom and gloom, bro. I hate to be that guy, but like, look at the numbers. When CPI comes out that hot, we haven't seen that in fucking decades, bro. 3.5. Yeah, that's crazy. So I mean, now what's gonna happen with the real estate? Even in Toronto, everybody was looking for, rate cuts, yeah. And it wasn't even big rate cuts. We're talking about like 0.25 a bip. Like, everybody was excited for it. But three rate cuts is good. It's good for the economy. It's good for the market, right? But now, because of this, you'll see. Now they're gonna go for. They're saying maybe we get 1. Maybe. That's bad for the stocks, bro. That's very bad, and you see it.
So because that affects everything. Because like even
Yeah.
cars too, right? 'Cause, like,
Exactly.
no, they follow the housing market pretty similar, and
Yep.
that goes for like everything. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it's because the CPI is a consumer market, like it's literally a market basket of consumer goods. That's what the CPI data represents. So cars, and funny enough, actually, it's crazy. In CPI data, houses are not even a part of that. The real estate market isn't even a part of CPI
really?
data. Yeah, bro. Like look into it. It's not even a part. So you have your groceries, your goods and services, cars.
What's running it higher though? Is it because of groceries?
It's everything, bro. It's everything. Everything's because they were bro. I watched the meeting, the FOMC meeting, and it was crazy. Like the questions that these reporters are asking, these guys can't even answer, bro. Like they're asking real questions, like like what you're asking, like what's the cost of this? Why can't we control this? But the people don't listen, bro. Even if I could understand it, I don't know why everybody can. If you print money to infinity, it's gonna be worth less. Bro, the dollar is hemorrhaging 20%. 20%. That's 20% of your dollar losing, hemorrhaging annually.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen in 5 years, bro. It's just gonna. I'm telling you, bro. But hey, what the fuck do I know? Like, what the fuck do I know, bro? It's crazy.
But from my understanding, is it followed from like usually the United States will increase the interest rate or lower the interest rate, and Canada follows right after.
Exactly.
But is it to a certain metric in the sense where like is it every single price cut or of interest rate they follow? Because I know sometimes Canada does a little bit slightly different.
So yeah, Canada kind of they use a different metric and they pivot differently because we don't have a federal government like the way the U.S. Treasury does and stuff like that. But it correlates really, really tight, right? So like whatever happens in the States, whatever happens to the dollar affects us directly, right?
Yeah.
Right. We might mitigate it differently. Canada definitely. You know what? Honestly, living in Canada, that's the one good thing I could actually say is because like we actually mitigate risk a lot better than the States.
Yeah, I know.
Like the States is like risk on, like you know what I mean. Canada, like the Canadian government or whatever structures we have in Canada, actually is a little bit better at mitigating the risk factor. But at the end of the day, it still correlates. The U.S. is the capital of the world. The dollar, is the reserve currency as we speak right now. So, man, if it goes down and if shit goes south, guess what? We're part of North America. It's going to affect us all, right?
Yeah,
it's going to affect us all big time.
No, I know. Like I think the biggest problem for Canadians right now is the hemorrhaging of debt right now is pretty horrible. Because I know everyone has debt right now, credit card debt, line of credits. Everyone's taking like, especially like people who refinance their houses to buy other houses. Like everyone's just getting by right now.
Yeah, it's scary. And the sad thing for me is I got to see it firsthand, bro. I'm probably one of the biggest consumers. Like managing a construction business. And doing the real estate and stuff like that. I had a young kid, and like it broke my heart. He was trying to rent like one of my cheapest, lowest, like grossing properties in Etobicoke, in Oakville, sorry, right off Burnhamthorpe. And bro, this guy, like I was literally slumlording it to him, giving him a room. Like it's a 3-bedroom house. I was trying to rent him out the room for $550 a month. You can't get anywhere for $550 a month. Okay, like to rent, like just it's a shared accommodations, and like he'd be sharing the kitchen and everything with everybody else. And I'm charging him $550. It's a young kid, works in Brampton, right? So it's a big commute. The guy doesn't even have a car.
Yeah,
bro. The guy cannot even come up with first and last.
What's the
first and last?
What are we charging him?
$550 a month. $550. Yeah, because I felt, bro. I try to help people, bro. Like my heart went out to him. He's a young kid. He reminded me of me when I was growing up and I was taking the bus and doing, working construction, doing my apprenticeship and stuff. And yeah man, like this dude. He was like, yeah, first and last might be a problem. Like, bro, what do you mean it might be a problem? You're coming here to view a room. Like for rent, you have to understand in Ontario, like first and last is standard. Like I'm not asking, what I mean? I'm not asking out of the norm here. Like first and last is standard, or Ontario lease. And this is why I don't like doing lease agreements. I usually Airbnb this shit, right? But like
it's better. Didn't the rules that recently changed with Airbnb? Was that?
Yeah, you have to get a certificate. I got to pay $550 for a certificate for every single property that I own. Yeah. It's a money grab, right? Because think about it. You own 4 properties. You want to Airbnb all 4 properties. That's $2,000
just a year, right?
Yeah, that's because you have to get for each unit, for each property, you got to get your Airbnb certificate now. It's like,
does that go to the government though?
Yeah. So everybody's grabbing, getting their hands in your pockets, getting their change, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's pretty shitty. It's pretty shitty, but you still make more than leasing. Like you still make more.
How much can you charge for, let's say, a condo downtown?
Like easily,
a
like
one
you'll
bedroom,
do
let's
like
say.
for if you're doing. See, I like a little bit of long term. Like my buddies do all short term. Short term you get more because the cleaning fee. So if you do a short term downtown, you're charging like $150 per night standard, and you're charging $150 cleaning fee, right? So think about it. Somebody checks in tonight, check out tomorrow. That's $300. Boom. For the cleaning fee. Then the next person checks in, boom, another $3. So you're compounding the shit out of it because your cleaning fee really isn't $150, but that's how much Airbnb allows you. So the cleaning fee is where the money's at, right? But if I just do a 1 month turnaround for 30 days, somebody comes in like mucks up my place. I charge them $150 cleaning fee. I'm actually going to spend that $150 cleaning fee because they've been there for a month, tearing up the place, right? It's just common sense.
But typically for the most part with, let's say, a condo downtown Toronto, you probably rent a Friday, Saturday, most likely, right? So if you're making like, let's say $300, that's only like $300 Friday, Saturday. You're only looking at $2,400 a month though.
No, $300 would be for like, so when I say $150 a night, I'm saying like standard because you want to compete with the hotels. And that's why I don't really like Toronto too much because in Toronto, there's just so much competition. There's everybody and their moms is Airbnb in a flat or a little unit, or there's hotels everywhere. So, I mean, you could get competitive. But like the best, like, so I tend to stay away from there, and all the smart guys stay away from doing Airbnb. Like, cause in Mississauga, my condo right off the Eglinton across from the hospital, bro, $160 a night, bro, $160 a night. $160 a night, and if you want to stay 5 nights, do the math, right? Plus the cleaning fee. So it's you can't charge that much on a lease agreement.
But doesn't
It just
Airbnb take a cut too of that though? $150?
Yeah, like nothing, bro. They take a service fee. It doesn't come close. Because think about it. Here's another example. So on a condo, in that same condo, right, you could charge, in Mississauga, the standard rate is like anywhere between $1,800 to $2,200 a month, depending on the size of your suite, right? And that's the standard rental. On Airbnb, I'm making 3 Gs clean. With the fee, everything, like we're paying out Airbnb, they're getting their cut. In London, Ontario, it's even more. Like I'm making 36 on an executive suite. Like it's fucked. And you can only charge in London. You can only charge 16 actually. The going rent for an executive suite, like in a basement apartment or whatever, it's 16 to like 2,000 if you have it really tits up. But I'm pulling 36 on the Airbnb.
Have you heard of like squatters?
Oh, bro. London has a lot of squatters, bro. They have a lot. You got to be careful. But it comes with the business, man. I mean, you want to make money and do things, bro. There's just so much, bro. People will come and they have the right to squat and they don't want to leave your house. I have to toss a guy onto the lawn. I literally have to grab his stuff, toss it out. And I was a little bit worried that he called the cops because, it's a big black guy kicking out this white guy to the lawn and stuff. But yeah, man, this guy, didn't want to leave. And again, you could only do that when you're renting. You can't do that with Airbnb. You can't be a squatter with Airbnb because you can't even get keys to my unit until you pay Airbnb.
No, actually, that's not how it works. Did you know that, like, okay, so what's actually crazy is that if your house is vacant and a squatter comes in, you can't kick them out.
Yeah, that's how are they going to get in my house? That's if they break in.
Let's say they break in, but like they can repair it. Let's say you're on vacation.
Yeah.
And then repair it.
Yeah, that's possible.
You cannot kick them out.
Yeah, that's
fucking crazy.
That's a big problem. But like, yeah, if you like, I have ADT monitoring and stuff. So like, I mean, it's a high possibility of that happening because first of all, they're breaking into your place, the alarm goes off, the police is dispatched right away, right?
There's so many different things.
Yeah.
But the way to so there's, I think it's called I forgot what it's called, but
the squatting, right? Yeah, like if they break into your house, they actually, I saw one on City TV actually, not City TV, was it C-Pulse? Same thing. But this lady was like literally she was selling a property, but there are people living in the property, and she's like, since when? What the hell is this going on? And they changed the locks on her. She didn't even get into her house.
That's
so they were. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Only in the city, man. Only in the six.
And like, and what's crazy is that like with squatting is that the only way to kind of beat them is if you go in and start living there as well.
What?
And then so you kind of like
you have to live. You have to pretend. Oh my god, that's actually crazy.
And so like you kind of like disrupt shit for them because now you're allowed to squat. So
what?
like so there was one.
So what did the police do about this? Like I never understand how that works.
The police don't get involved in cases like this. They always.
But
say
they have
the same
to. Like
thing.
that's their job.
I know, but they always say the same thing. You take this to the board. What do you call it?
The tribunal.
Tribunal board.
That's ridiculous.
And they take forever.
Ridiculous.
There's actually it's not crazy. A lot of people don't understand that there's no consequences for renters. like in terms of not paying your rent, unless they take you to court. But if you can't, like most of the time, these people who hold mortgages, right? Imagine renting it out, and then you got to pay like $3,600, $3,000 a month out of your pocket for like a year.
Yeah,
That's gonna hurt.
You know what? That's bro. I've been. You know, I feel like that depends on your like. If you're a landlord and you're renting out, you have to have a tough filters. Like, first of all, here's a trick for all you wannabe renters out there: do not rent to women.
Oh
Ever.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Don't you ever rent to like bro? Because I've been renting places for 21 years, and like I had one really horror story. I remember 1759 Meltzer Mews, Mississauga, the slums of Mississauga, right off Aquitaine. That was one of my first properties I bought, and it was like 5 people living in the house, and I rented out to this one chick. So she had like the basement, and bro, she had like 2 kids with her and stuff like that. So she was fine paying up the rent for like first 3-4 months, and after the first 3-4 months, it was like delinquent payment. I was like, oh, I'm short $100, and I was like, okay, whatever, bro. The girl ended up like every month shorting the rent, and getting behind. Like, okay, I'll give you the extra $300 next month. Now it's compounded. Oh, I'll give you an extra $800, and then down. I'm like, yo, okay, so now you're here for free because now you literally still owe me like $2,000 from the past months. I'm like, you gotta leave. But usually my tactics were when somebody's like that, I show up. I'm a very intimidating guy when I want to be, and I just literally start packing your stuff for you.
Yeah.
No problems. Easy.
Yeah.
With the girl though, she started screaming. I started trying to do that same tactic. She started screaming. The kids are screaming. I'm like, oh shit! And I could literally see the scenario playing out in my head. I'm like, oh fuck! I know how this story ends. Police, jail time. I'm getting arrested. So like, I literally had to go through the proper channels.
Yeah.
And it took me 9 months. She was living in my house for free.
And so, did you get the money back?
No, I didn't get no money back. I got her out of my house. That's all I cared about. But I didn't get any money back.
How'd that work?
And you know what's crazy? You know what the judge said to me?
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot kick a woman in the middle of winter because this started in the wintertime, right? It was like during the winter, like winter just started up. Like, you can't expect us to kick a woman out with 2 kids in the middle of winter. Deal with it. That's exactly what the judge said to me, bro. I was like, this is the American dream, eh? I was like, so I go slave my ass off for years, buy property for you guys to live in, and that's how you treat me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the scum of the universe. Okay, cool.
That's why.
And ever since then, bro, I never went to women ever again.
That's why like people were saying that like just low income, like buying low income housing and dealing with low income renters is like a
nightmare.
Nightmare. And a lot of people, that's the one good part about commercial real estate is that there's actually no rules. If they don't pay the next month, you can actually kick them out legally. No, you don't need the cops involved. Commercial's a different ballgame.
Yeah, commercial is different. Yeah, you're right. But why should it be different? Like, I feel like residential should have even a higher precedent, right? Like, I mean, it's you need a home to live, right? Like, you need a roof over your head. Why should commercial, a place where it's just literally just business and professionals, like you'd think that's just a given. Like, these are professional people. Like, if they don't pay, their business suffers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't get it, man. It should be the residential should follow the same practice, and that's why think about it. That's why Trudeau. This has been a problem for years, and that's why now Trudeau is actually implementing that whole fucking
Credit score.
Be a good tenant. Don't worry about owning your home. Just build your credit up through renting. Yeah, it's cool. All the cool guys are doing it.
What do you think about? Okay, what do you think about like the banks? Like with the credit score thing, do you think that it's beneficial for now if people can go to the bank and be like, hey, like I have paid my rent all the time. Will that benefit them to getting a mortgage?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, it's a serious bill that just got passed. Like if you actually, but here's the thing. Check this out. Think about it. If you've been renting, right? You've been renting for standard policies, a year lease, right? Year, 2 year lease. You've been renting for a year, 2 years, right? Building up your credit. Credit's good. You're paying your shit on time, right? After 2 years, your credit's good. You got a good credit score, right? What's your down payment looking like? You've been renting. Like the rent is not cheap in the greater Toronto area. So what's your down payment looking like? What's your job status? How are you gonna go up with the stress test, right? So it's great you have a good credit score, but these are the 3 things the bank looks for. They look for credit score. They look for, are you able to pass a stress test, right? Can you afford this property long term? Are you gonna default on the property? And like what's your down payment? Do you have $100,000 to put down? Probably not, bro. The average Canadian doesn't even have $20,000 in savings. That's a fact. Look it up.
Yeah.
So who cares? But this is the thing, guys. These fucking sheep out there are just such idiots. They don't understand misdirection. the devil's biggest trick is to trick the world that he didn't exist, right? Misdirection. So like Trudeau is gonna make you feel like, okay, yeah, this credit score thing, and everybody, bro, it passed so fast because people are like, oh, that's a genius idea, yeah. Like, let's just be renters forever for the rest of our life, not own anything and be happy with it.
Yeah.
And at least we'll have a nice shiny medal with the credit score because that's all the credit score is, right?
Yeah.
Nice. If you have cash, why the fuck do you need a credit score? Explain this to me. Riddle me that. If I have $1 million in cash, if I have a lot of money, why the fuck would I need a credit score?
No, you
bro?
don't need one.
I don't need a credit score for anything if you have cash.
But you always want to use the bank's money though.
Oh, for sure, of course.
You always wanna
But,
use the bank's
I
money.
mean, essentially, it's what do you prefer? If I gave you the option as a smart guy, I say, hey, you know what, Sim, I'll give you a 900 credit score. Hey, I'll dock it up. I got the AI bots working on it. It'll clean you up.
Yeah.
It'll raise all your debt. You got 900 credit score, boy. You good. But you either take that option or I give you $500,000.
$500,000.
I'll take the $500,000.
Yeah, $500,000.
Who gives a fuck about a number? Like,
Yeah,
you can always make your credit score better. You can
Yeah,
always
it's
fix
true.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people don't understand that concept, right? But hey.
That's true. I was just thinking, like, just in general, like with the whole credit score rating thing, like a lot of people don't understand that after 700, it doesn't really matter what your credit score is after
Exactly.
that, because most banks will lend you anything at 700. Like, it's all about what your assets are and what you're accumulating and stuff like that, because that's actually way more important than.
Because they like to see that you actually have assets. Like in
Yeah.
case you do default, they can come after them.
come
That's
after
the
you.
whole point of it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
But is there ways around it though, in the sense where like okay, so with accumulating assets, right? Do you think it's better to like not put them in your name and put them in another, like let's say your mother's name or your brother's name or your sister's name, just
Absolutely.
just in case something,
Abso-
especially as a risk taker too.
Absolutely,
And just-
bro. 100%, bro.
So if you do you think that you can get, let's say you have the assets under your name
Mm-hmm.
and then you change them out of your name, so then the bank will lend you money. Let's say they give you like $100,000.
Yeah.
And then you're not. It's not that you're gonna go fuck around with it, but let's say risk can happen.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be better to kind of change them right when you get the loan, and then you change them out of your name and refund, like kind of like.
Yeah, but it now costs you more money. Like it was the thing about
No,
it.
you
like,
want more money, but
yeah, like if you buy something in your name, just to switch it over is a process and there's a hefty fee. So
Yeah, free
like
finance.
I put, bro. I don't want to own anything. In the eyes of the government, I literally don't want to own money. Actually, I'm not going to say this on air, but let's just imagine you own 4 or 5 properties, but on paper you only own 2, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just got to be clever because, bro, if you don't own anything, they can't take anything away from you. That's what people don't get. Like everybody wants to be cool. I'm like, yeah, I own this, I own that. Okay, so I could take this and I could take that.
Yeah.
And the government will. Like, bro, I'd rather deal with the Mexican cartel than the government and the elites.
CRA.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you think about it. Like, the Mexican cartel, they can't really freeze your accounts. Actually, I mean, they not can't really. They can't. It's impossible for the Mexican cartel to freeze your accounts. They can't freeze your accounts. They can't follow you across the globe. You know what I mean? Like you actually have a chance with the CRA, bro. You better you better hope and pray you never get in their bad books.
They're pretty aggressive now.
They
After
garnish your
COVID.
wages. They'll literally
Yeah, I know.
you'll be working for them. Like, bro, like I've seen it. I've seen so many cases. Knock on wood. I tried my best to stay out of their hairs.
CR
the
is
crosshairs.
pretty damn ruthless.
But
And like,
they're gangster, bro.
did you hear about everything what happened with the CERB with people who have to pay that back now?
Yeah.
After 4 years,
bad.
that's bad.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
And bro, people got like 60 grand. Bro, my one buddy owns a supplement store and he got like 60K. Like I mean, I got a lot of money
Oh,
too.
the-
You remember the 20,000 and the
yeah,
40,000?
yeah.
And then if you pay and bro, they go wild people so bad.
Yeah.
Because if you pay back in time, then you get 20 grand free. Like, look at that concept. Where's this money coming from, bro? These guys are just printing money. Like, think about how many people in the States and in Canada got a fucking $20,000 check for free. And remember, in the States, as long as you were a citizen in the States, the payout was $1,600. As long as you were a citizen in the States. So it didn't matter if you came from Mexico, you
You got
immigrated.
$1,600 a month?
Yeah, $1,600 a month. Every citizen of the States. 16. But that's why. What do you think? They printed $11.5 trillion throughout COVID. That's 2 years more money printed in the entire history of man. Think about that.
Holy
Think
shit.
about that, bro. Because everybody, they were just giving cash away. Like, I was like, stop this. This is, and everybody loved it. They're like, yeah, the government loves us. Look at what they're doing for
Yeah,
us.
I
They
know.
care so much, man. Like, that's so bad
I
for
thought
the
it was
economy.
$1,600 once.
No, bro. No, in Canada, they were giving you lump sums.
Yeah, I know Canada.
And again, Canada, they were giving us lump sums for like the businesses and stuff. So businesses had a different structure, right? So you get your lump sum for the business, and you'd get like kind of like a what's it called, like what's it called?
CERB?
No, not was it? It was like a structure of like
The SIBA?
no, what's it called? Not welfare, unemployment. It was like it was working like unemployment. You get like $1,000 a week or whatever like that, which is still a lot. But in the States, bro, in the States, people were getting a monthly check, and I know this unequivocally because in 2020, that's when it started, and the fucking markets went crazy, bro.
Oh, I remember that.
The markets went crazy, bro. Crypto just did some stupid shit because everybody was taking their checks and dumping it into risk assets.
Yeah.
Think about it. When you're getting money coming out of the wazoo, the first thing you think about is, oh, I want to make more. So you're taking your money out, that free money, and you're dumping it into risk assets, right?
Yeah.
Like crypto, stocks, you know what I mean? Like, bro, the market went crazy, bro, in 2020.
I
You
remember
that?
I remember waking
Oh
up
my
every
God.
I had Tesla stocks, I had Amazon stocks, I had Apple, and I had like Roku, I had PayPal. During that time span, it didn't matter what stock you invested into.
It didn't matter, yeah.
It was gonna explode.
Bro, you just have a dartboard, you throw it out there, whatever that
Yeah.
dart landed on, you're making
It
money.
was the greatest time.
It was fucking crazy. Yeah, man.
Everyone thought they were like I remember seeing like big fucking green days, like just like $100 Amazon one day, like, and then like Netflix would go up like $60, and your portfolio would grow like
Yeah.
at least like a couple grand a day.
You know what really was scary for me, bro? The scariest part was that's when my construction business kind of like took off. It went, and a lot of construction businesses just literally took off because guess what? Another thing people were doing, they couldn't leave their house, so they were literally doing all
Renovating.
upgrades to the house, right? But I had to give away. I was making so much money, and I was selling contracts, selling work that I was getting that I couldn't handle. So you know what really scared me during that? Not that. That was like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I'm making money hand over fist. That wasn't scaring me. What scared me was that my employees, my Mexican employees, right, like 8 of them, when they start giving you stock advice and telling you, oh, papi, that's the money you making. Mucho dinero, papi, mucho dinero in the stocks, papi. It's crazy. Showing, I'm like, oh, you guys are making money in the stocks? Like, bro, these are like hardcore, like Mexicans that they just came over here and they're working, you know, hard workers, they're great workers, love the guys. But I had to sit back, I sat in my truck and I was like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah.
That's like the janitor in your school.
Yeah.
Telling you about fucking Tesla stocks and fucking, you know, and GameStop and shit like that.
People
like,
had so
that's when I knew they were in trouble, bro.
People had so much money saved up as well because they weren't spending anything. And like once the lockdowns were released, everyone went ballistic.
Yeah.
Every business was just profiting like crazy. I remember how insane it was. It was probably the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And you think for a moment we're not gonna pay for that, bro? It's only been, bro. It's only literally
years.
been 4 years later.
Well,
Actually,
2 years. Like,
yeah, 2 years. Because that lasted 2 years. 2020,
Yeah.
2021, 20. It lasted until 2022 almost, and that's when everything started tanking. Bro, it's only been 2 years after, bro. We haven't even seen the aftermath, brother.
How
The
long?
aftermath is gonna
What do
be
you
insane.
what do you predict to happen 2 years from now?
I think so. In another 2 years, 2025, I think is going to be a great year. I think we're going to suffer a little bit here and there for the rest of this year, like moving into the summertime and stuff. But I think because it's an election year, they're going to kick the can down the road, which is what they always do.
Yeah.
It's an election year, so we're not going to feel all the pain now. So 2025, I think 2026 is where. 2026, I'm telling you, mark it in your calendar. I would say halfway through, like second quarter of the year, 2026, that's when the shit gets. Think about it. Election year is over. We're on to 2025. They got to show good faith. And bull market is over. Bro, it's gonna be devastating for people. Are gonna be, buddy, they're gonna be trying to get all the water out of the sinking boats, bro. But it ain't gonna help.
Yeah.
Like if you're not prepping now, and if you're not sitting on a serious amount of cash and having some contingency plans, you're fucked.
What do you think what will happen in 2026 in the sense where, like, what do you think inflation will go up higher? Or do you
I think inflation, like at this point, at the rate it is now, especially think about it. If it's this bad now, these guys are already talking about turning the money printer back on.
already?
They're already talking about turning because I mean, think about it. How else are you going to fund all these there's wars popping up everywhere now, and the U.S. government can't afford shit. Meanwhile, Putin's just fucking sending drones and dropping bombs on everybody. That shit costs $200 at Best Buy. Like, that guy,
Yeah,
literally,
cool.
he's a genius. He's literally using, like, we're spending, bro. You know what our budget is in Canada and the States for fucking like the military and our artillery?
It's low.
No, it's high, bro. It's actually, bro. The American government, because they got to remember they have all these like they spend all this money on Scud missiles and what's it called? Those they made a movie about it. Those counter artillery tanks and stuff. It's a lot, bro. They have like a it's like a $10 billion budget on just their military. It's insane. It's a staggering number. Anyways, bro, Putin has guys literally, bro. It's so fascinating. He literally has guys in the office controlling drones. Like, yo, bro, just look into that. It's gonna blow your mind. You see the American idiots in the in their tanks and in the troughs. In the, like, outside and on the front lines and stuff, and you just seeing them getting bombed. Like, where are these guys are getting bombed? You see drones flying, dropping bombs. Like, it's so cost effective.
Is the Ukraine war, in terms of like what Canada's giving money? Those are not that's not grants. That's actually a loan. No, if I'm
No,
not mistaken.
that's a grant, bro. They're raising money. They're not getting that back.
Oh, they're not getting that
They're
back.
not getting that
Oh,
back.
okay,
Bro.
so
That's why people are cheese. There's no loan, bro. They're
Oh, I thought it was a loan.
Yo, they're raising money to just give it to the people. Like, yo, bro, it's crazy. They're just and I mean, you look at all those different scenarios, and you do the math, man, and it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out any way positive. Like,
That's
it doesn't
pretty bad
come
in
out.
Canada.
It's bad. It's bad.
What are we at? Like trillions?
Yeah, well, it's not as bad as the States. The States is like $16 trillion in debt, bro.
I think it was 20. I thought it was more. But like
It's bad. It's around 16 trillion in debt.
no way paying
it's
it
not,
back.
No, there's no way. It's impossible. And Canada's not as bad. That's what I'm saying. We're actually not as bad as the States.
Yeah.
We're not as bad. I mean, you leave Trudeau in power long enough, and we're gonna get worse. I think, right? So,
Yeah.
But it's scary, bro. It's scary.
But the part that people have to understand is that when Pierre Poilievre does come in charge, conservatives are all about cutting shit, cutting programs. So your quality of life will actually, I think, in my opinion, actually decrease even further.
What do you mean, like? But,
So usually conservatives come in and they cut programs, right? Because they're trying to save money. When Doug Ford came in, he cut a lot of the
Yeah.
programs. Like the students got screwed over with a lot of tuition, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Conservatives are more about like, honestly, every single politician is pretty shady. Doesn't matter who it is.
But you know what? Think about it. I mean, it's genius. How else could you actually mitigate risk better? By cutting, bro. Like, you think about it. If you're in a stock right now and it's down 50%,
Yeah.
what's your best bet? What would you do? I mean, you know that the stock's tanking. It's done nothing but go down. It's spiraling down to the ground. You're 50% in the hole. You sell, you mitigate your risk, you cut your losses, and you take what's left, which
Really,
is
you
50%.
think you think that's the best, right? I think it's best to write it out.
I mean, yeah, writing out, and that's the thing, and that's the mentality that screws most people. Like if you write that, like, again, it'll have to be based on the stock, what it is. If it's a good, like, blue chip stock, then sure, it'll recover. It'll recover.
Well,
It'll
remember,
recover.
Apple for the longest time in the 90s was a low stock. Imagine if you cut ties with it earlier, and then around 2000ish, it started to like
Yeah,
get
but
better.
Apple is an anomaly, bro. Apple is one of the one of the rare things, and it'll always have
Microsoft
that.
too.
Look at like Wolf of Wall Street. He literally made people millions by selling them like garbage stocks that did well. Like,
Yeah, wasn't it
that's all he
like-
did. He pushed penny stocks, bro. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, you have to, with a stock, if the TA is looking horrible, like if I'm looking at the chart and I'm seeing that we're in a bearish trend, please believe me. I don't care if it's Apple. I don't care.
Have you bought penny stocks before?
No, never.
They're actually very, very tough to understand what it is.
Well, the reason they're tough is because there's no analysis on them, bro. The penny stocks, there's no. I want to buy something that I can actually read the chart. I can see where it's been trending, where's the support, where's the resistance, where we're heading. If we hit, $2, am I safe to buy more there, or is that a point of like good support? Like, you need some sort of data to read.
But what's
right?
the? I'm most curious. Like, what's the market cap on those penny stocks? Like
About
million, maybe less than that.
Yeah, the penny stocks. I mean, a good penny stock would be like anything under 25 mil. Like, that's
25 mil.
anything under 25 mil is like a garbage stock, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
garbage. Like you literally, and you'll do well. Like you could throw $1,000 in there, and if that shit just goes from 25 mil to 30 mil, you're rich.
You know what was a
You're
really
rich.
good stock that I used to hold? Well, was Pizza.
Really?
Pizza, because their dividend at one point was like 8.6.
Really?
dividend was-
Pizza, eh?
Pizza stock
I used to fucking eat the shit out of pizza. I love pizza, bro. Oh my
Their
god.
stock was like doing really well, and
Really?
like and like I think like for me, what I used to do is I used to focus more on dividend stocks because like why you get money for holding stock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like, it makes more sense to hold the stock, right? And then
Yeah.
it gives you more of an incentive to kind of hold it. But I know a lot of tech companies do not give dividends, zero. I don't think
Especially these days, no.
it's mostly like the blue chip stocks like
like
Walmart.
Yeah, MicroStrategy.
Best
they
Buy-
they,
Best
they
Buy.
give dividends. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like some of the dividends you can get is pretty high, like 8.6. But then it kind of concerns you too. It's like with the pizza stock, it's like why are you giving such a high dividend? Like
Yeah, I never understood how does that benefit the actual like the shareholders? Like,
well,
I mean,
because the
like,
shareholder. So like let's say you have like a certain amount of stock,
Mm-hmm.
you would get 8.6% of whatever you're holding.
and that's everybody in the shareholders, or just the people in the board, just the people?
Everyone.
Everybody. Oh, okay.
Everyone gets a dividend. So
Okay.
you can make like a couple bucks for each stock that you own.
Wow. On top of the profit that
On
it's
top of the
yielding
prop.
you.
But
Okay.
the only thing is that when you pay out dividends that high, like people can be concerned about it because it's like, are you reinvesting it into the company? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's a low amount of reinvesting.
It makes you think. Yeah.
That's why like those blue chip stocks are like they honestly move really slow. Like I used to hold a lot of bank stocks, and they don't go down, they don't go up that much, but like over the course of like 3-4 years, you'll be up maybe like let's say a couple grand. But like it's the most safest way to like do it. Like do you
No,
usually
the safest thing to do is high yield bonds, bro. The debt, the U.S. debt. That's the safe that is for the past fucking 100 years, because you'll make more on a percentage, and it's a guaranteed. So if I had $1 million and I was a pussy and I was not risk averse, I'll put it in some high yield bonds because
For the government, right?
Yeah, you're guaranteed that
Yeah.
5.5%.
But that's after 5 years though.
No, it's not after 5 years. It's right because you're buying the debt. You're buying the debt bonds. High yield bonds are debts.
Yeah.
The government's literally selling you shares of their debt. That's what that is.
I thought, sorry, don't know. I think what I was thinking was the bonds that you get from the government, no?
Well, there's different types of bonds.
Yeah.
There's different types of bonds. High yield bonds is specifically
What's the return on those?
like 5.5%. It's not a lot to a guy like me because bro, 5.5% like is not attractive to me at all. Like one crypto, one of the shittiest cryptos I could just pick made me 160% in the past couple months. So 5% is just not. But again, that's you in crypto. It's a whole other dynamic. But if you're in TradFi, 5.5% is very impressive. But think about it, the S&P. The S&P, the top 500 companies in the world, the S&P 500, you're happy with 3% return. You're happy with 3% steady annual return, clean money. And that's what the TradFi space is like, right? So like when guys talk to me about these numbers, I laugh. I'm like, buddy, like you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Think about it. Just think about it for a second. You're not even beating inflation. Think about that.
Inflation's how much right now?
Inflation's like that's 7%. That's the real number for inflation. So if think about it, if you put your $1 million into a stock that's actually performing and giving you back, let's just say 5%, like a high yield bond, you're not even you're losing on the trade, bro. You're losing because by the time you pull out of that, your $1 million has been debased so much, and inflation has outright brought your purchasing power down because you haven't made enough to catch up. The whole trick is trying to make as much as the inflation and more so that you're making more than the rate of things increasing. It's standard stuff.
So, do you think with like certain products that we're purchasing from overseas and stuff like that, like the amount of goods that we have, like have you ever like seen comparisons between American products and Canadian products and how much higher, even though the currency, people are like, oh, it's American, it actually doesn't really matter that much because, I mean, it does matter, but in the sense where like if you buy like a bucket of, let's say like, I don't know, like Nutella, right?
Yeah.
It could be like $26 in Canadian, but then when you go to the States, it's about like, let's say $13. It still makes a difference even if you convert it. You're still saving money when you buy from the States.
Yeah, I think so.
And everything is so expensive
so.
in Canada in the sense where like everything I feel like is jacked up.
Well, in the States, it's actually interesting because their groceries especially is so much cheaper than ours, bro.
They produce way more.
Their groceries are so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Like like a bag of grapes in the store is like damn near $30, bro. Like
Really?
Like
States?
No, here in Canada.
Here,
in Canada,
yeah.
bro. No, I'm saying in the States, the groceries are way more affordable.
But that's 'cause
I just don't know how it got that way. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how it got like that.
Honestly, what it comes down to is there's a few different factors. The first thing is that like America grows their own shit. because of the weather.
Yeah.
So they have Florida, California, like
a good
they
point.
have like places that you can grow shit, right? We can't grow
Yes,
anything
yes.
unless it's in the summertime, right?
Yeah.
And the second thing is that there's just more competition. If there's more competition, people are gonna be more competitive with their prices, right? We don't have that much competition because we don't.
Yeah, that's
truthfully,
right.
like Canada is known now as a country that does not even manufacture a lot of shit. We're dependent on a lot of other countries to giving our shit, like
Yeah.
even like the vaccines for COVID
Yeah.
and stuff like that. We didn't produce anything, right? And the second thing is that Canadians are not reinvesting back into their businesses. We're not reinvesting at all. We're using old shit. We're not really pushing the needle that far anymore. Since like the last time that we've actually even grew our GDP, like it's like been the 2000s. It hasn't gone up since then.
Jeez.
And like the thing is like Canadians are not. A lot of times I feel like with Canadians like we're not risk aversive as much as the States are. Like we don't. I remember like we have Shopify, which is one thing I guess that's pretty big in Canada. But then I remember BlackBerry being a big thing. But like honestly, not much shit comes from Canada anymore.
I can't think of much. Yeah.
Can't think of much anymore.
That's
Like
a really
we
good
really
point.
don't manufacture anything.
You gotta do
here.
better, Canada. You guys, we gotta do better.
Even the oil, like the whole tar sand thing, like
actually, that's dude, we sell it
back to Texas,
yeah.
and then
Like, it's,
because,
we buy it. Like it's just the dumbest thing.
because you know why? It's because tar sand, you need the infrastructure for it. Because our oil is like very like gucky, like it's not like clean
Yeah.
type of oil, so we have to send
We
it.
have the largest on the planet, bro.
Yeah, I know, but we should be investing
That's great.
into cleaning it.
Yeah, exactly. Like think about it. Wouldn't you agree? Like we invest in the clean it, give our guys, our people, our citizens more work. And once we build the infrastructure, you'll have workers, bro. I used to work actually up in Fort Mac.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Fort McMurray?
Yeah.
It's
Alberta,
the
right?
slang word was it's Fort McMurray, Fort Mac, but they call it Fort Crack
Yeah.
because it was actually one of the highest consuming crack, cocaine, and methamphetamine areas in Canada. And
Yeah.
bro, I literally stumbled onto that while I was doing my apprenticeship for because I'm a carpenter by trade. While I was doing my apprenticeship, my 4-year apprenticeship. I was doing a lot of shutdown work, and I was working in the potash mines. I was working in Fort Mac, all over Winnipeg, Manitoba. Like I did the whole tour,
Yeah.
right? And bro, like these guys, and I'm talking, this is a long time ago. Take this in. These guys are in like $150,000 trucks. Guys, this one guy, one of my site supers was pushing a fucking Gallardo, bro. Like Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
And then I started on this. I'm like, wait, well. Then I see McDonald's paying like $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that? Bro, this I'm talking like this was what, 17 years ago, like 15 years ago. McDonald's was paying, and this is out there, out west. They were paying $20. Bro, housing was everything was like it made every tradesman from Toronto started just doing the drive. 18-hour drive, Trans-Canada Highway. You get it in Winnipeg, you get out west, and you just literally transform your life.
It's not the same
I was
thing
making,
anymore, though.
bro, no, of course not. But me, as a teenager, I was making $25,000 a month. $25,000. I didn't even know what to do. I was like, this is. I mean, you get homesick and you have to fly my girl out all the time and stuff like that at the time. But like, bro, $25,000 a month. Who the fuck do you know? Like, what teenager do you know? Like, literally right now. Like, how many? Not even teenagers. How many grown-ups do you know that's taking home $25K a month doing anything? I mean, it was not easy work. It was shutdown work. You're working fucking 14 hour days and stuff like that. But like, bro. You're getting vacation pay. You're getting my check was insane. Like you're just looking at your vacation pay, your travel allowance, your food allowance, because you're working away from where your home, so they're paying for all that, right? Plus you're getting, and I wasn't making a lot of money an hour. At apprenticeship, I was making $17.85, $17. That was my hourly rate. That's a rate.
So what changed then?
Well, what changes? There's not the demand for trades persons are diminished.
I thought it's increased trades.
Yeah, because it's increased because there's no one to do it. There's no one to fill the shoes, right? So like they can't do the work. Like back in that day,
Yeah.
bro, tradesmen and kids trying to get into trades was a big thing.
Yeah.
But now everybody wants to be gamers, YouTubers. Like they didn't want to be in the trades, right?
Do you remember even in like 2015, 2014, 2013, how difficult it was to become a cop?
No, I don't
Like
remember
so
that.
like I remember everyone wanted to be like a cop or like a teacher.
Really?
I remember like during that era in the 2010s, it was very difficult to become a cop and a teacher, and now nobody wants to do it anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't know nothing about that. I'm not
Because
really a
it
big
used to
fan.
be a desirable job, right? But like people are looking at like a
Being
cop.
a cop was a desirable job.
It was desirable because of what the benefits you would get,
okay,
right?
okay,
like
okay.
you would get 100K, you salary. Now people are like, I don't think 100K is even worth it, and they're looking at the job as a cop, and like it's no longer like too much bullshit you got to
Wait,
do.
cops making 100K?
Yeah, their
Really?
union.
So why are they so pissed off all the time and they're always fucking around? Why are they?
Oh,
always,
they deal with some of the bullshit. Man, think about it.
100K. I mean, that's decent. That's not bad.
I wouldn't do it with 100K. Being a cop, no way.
Yeah, I mean, for what you, I mean, you
What
are
you're
risking
doing-
your life.
The
and stuff.
PTSD that you
Yeah.
get, like, think about
Yeah.
it. The
That's
amount
a
of
good one.
shit that you see is probably not normal that the average person can like even like deal with. Like,
Yeah.
every factor, like any situation you have to deal with fucking the worst things. Like, you know,
Jeez.
you gotta deal with like I don't
Hey,
know.
wait, but that's 100K like now currently.
Yeah.
I guess that's not good. That's
it's
really
not-
low.
it's not
But
that good.
back then, bro, think about it. Doing 5 months work, you're making 100 grand as a teenager. Doing shutdown work, bro, 25 grand a month. Yeah, look into it, bro. It was actually insane, bro. They called it the gold rush, and it was one of the greatest things I was alive to see. But like, look at where the shit's going. Like, if a cop that's actually putting his life on the line, and like you said, dealing with PTSD, is making 100 grand now, 2024. What does that tell you? The dollar isn't worth shit, bro. Like, you go from being a teenager to making 100 grand in 5 months, 5 months being a tradesman, to a cop risking his life, having to pull your weapon and have PTSD for 100 grand a year.
It's not worth it.
That's you're absolutely right.
not
Doing
worth
the
it.
math in my head, I'm like, yeah,
not worth it.
It's just fuck. That's harsh.
Everything now is gone to like the country itself Canada itself has gone so downhill, and it's only happened like the last 5 years. It used to actually be a pretty decent country in 2018, 2019. Ever since COVID,
Yeah.
it really. But
Wait, 5 years? Really? No, it's been longer
5
than
years.
5. Has it been just 5 years?
2019 was 5 years ago, yeah.
Fuck.
But the last 4 years kind of felt like a
jeez.
blank, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
'Cause COVID
Feel
kinda took away 2 years.
Felt like the Thanos snap, the blip.
Did you go anywhere during COVID? Like, did you travel?
I traveled back home and stuff, but nowhere crazy. I used my paperwork. Yeah, I thought that was a
Did you hear
good
about the
time.
Rive Can scandal that's going on?
No, the bullshit token app that he made
That costed
fucking millions of dollars.
$100 million.
Crazy number. Yeah.
And like people were like, that app can be built for
He's getting
60,000.
sued for that, or something like that, right?
Something like that,
I mean, how do you justify that? Like, you get an app made for 25 G's, bro.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
like you make some good apps for like 25, 30K.
Yeah.
Where are you getting $100 million to make an app, bro? Like, I mean, make it make sense. Like, when you're trying to defraud a population, you gotta make it make sense. Make us believe it. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of money
It's a lot of money.
to like say, oh yeah, look at this cool app I made. that
that's the
that
thing,
didn't
it's
even
like-
work properly.
It's like during that time span, like like COVID, like the shit that people were spending on was like insane. Like I just think about all the money that was printed and kept seeing how much more money was printed and more and more and more. I was like, someone's got to pay for that. And like I think now we're at that stage where like entry point for salary is about 40K. That's pretty fucking horrible. 40, 45K. Like remember before most people like let's say even like 2017, 2016 having entry job at 45K would be like, all right, cool, it's a starting point. But people don't want to do that anymore. You can't live off that.
Can't live off 40K, bro.
Not live off 40K.
Can't. Oh,
you could
man.
before.
Yeah, before. Oh, yeah,
could.
absolutely. But you
like-
could have done a lot with 40K.
Yeah, you
A
could.
lot back then. But again, that's when people tell you inflation doesn't exist, it's a lie. You just have to, you live long enough, you know it's a lie. Because, you know, if you're telling me 40K now is what you're paying people, bro, 40K can get what can explain. Remember what we asked the girls? What they don't even know what they
yeah,
would
I
do
know,
with 40K.
I know.
I'd buy a condo. You're not gonna buy a condo
Yeah, I know.
with 40K. The banks will laugh you out of the building.
horrible.
Because 40K is not a down payment for any sort of property.
Yeah.
Maybe a trailer in the trailer park, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I
No.
mean? Like, think about it, right? Like, what can you buy with 40K that could actually impact your way of living and impact your life? It's nothing. It's pennies.
It also double hurts when you buy shit from the States because the exchange rate. It's so bad when you look at it. Yo,
Yeah.
the shit that we
It's
have,
fucking
like,
scary.
have you seen Amazon.com versus Amazon.ca? It's like the shit that they have is so much better.
Really?
Amazon.ca is so trash, especially when you shop on like sometimes you just go Amazon.com without
Yeah.
realizing it's .ca.
Yeah.
And you see all the products, just like no, it doesn't ship to Canada, or the cost has changed. Like there's just so much shit that's like
Yeah.
I think Canada needs to do a better job at producing more manufacturing companies, to bring more manufacturing companies here and start building our own shit. Gotta stop depending so much on other fucking countries.
Yeah.
That's where I think where Canada really, really went wrong. But that was back in the 80s, and when I forgot what his name was, the premier. Because apparently how Canada works is the premiers actually have a lot more power than the prime ministers, in the sense where Trudeau will issue out $5 billion to the province. And he'll be like, hey, I recommend you doing this. The province gets to dictate where that money gets to go towards.
Really?
Yeah, it's not actually the federal government. It has no power over it. So a lot of the housing problem comes down to the provincial government and the municipalities. It's actually not, the federal government has some say in it, but it really comes down to the provincial government. And like the thing is,
Yeah, but who writes policy though? Isn't it the federal government that writes policy?
they can write policies, but the thing is that when it comes to like developments and stuff like that,
Yeah.
that comes strictly from the provincial government and the municipalities, and they can work things out. But Canada has the most red tape out of all G7
Yeah.
countries. Like the bullshit when it comes to permits is so stupid. Like it's like the minor things that they want changed, and everything gets delayed. Like I think when you want to do a development on a land, I think on average it takes, before you even put the shovel in the ground, it takes about 5 years
Jeez.
just to start building.
Wow.
So that's why our shit's so slow. But also, I think one way to kind of solve the housing problem was, the government used to do this. They used to, I mentioned it before, they would build apartments, right? Or no, this is in somewhere in Europe. They would build apartments and they would rent it out to people, and they would rent it out for 50 years. And after 50 years, you get to own the property.
Jeez.
It's actually pretty smart when you think about it.
And that's in Europe?
I think that's in Spain or Portugal, one of the countries.
Yeah, that can't be now because you can't own shit in Europe. Like you can't buy anything out there.
It was back in the 80s when
Oh,
they
it's
used to
back
do
in,
that.
okay.
But-
yeah, you can't buy nothing in Europe now.
But what I'm saying is that's actually a really good way to, like, you know, like back in the day, like remember how much government housing used to be built?
Yeah.
Like there's no government housing anymore. I don't see any new government development happening at all.
Really? I thought there was still lots. I don't know personally.
But think
'cause-
about all those apartments that are built,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't see those. It always sees
Yeah.
condo high rises now.
That's true.
You don't
That's
see
true.
any like apartments being built in any sort of like
That's
city.
right.
And those things used to be good because it used to be affordable, because it used to be government owned, right? So the
Yeah.
government never used to like jack up your rent. That's what we need, I think. To kinda,
I grew up in an apartment building.
government housing sucked.
It sure did.
Even living in the government area
Yeah.
just sucked.
Buddy, yeah, man.
Ghetto.
Me, Dixie and Bloor, bro. It was like that was like government central. You know, when I came to Canada, I didn't even know. Like, bro, I came to Canada thinking I'd be like Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm making it. I'm moving on. I'll fucking see you suckers. And I'm like, I'm going to the land of opportunity. My grandma was all sad. She's like, don't forget about us. Send money back and save us. I'm like, oh,
When did you
for
come to
sure,
Canada?
for sure, for
What age?
sure. I came when I was 13.
Oh, 13.
I was already a man, bro. But at 13 years old, I was, catching mongoose, chopping off fucking the heads of boa constrictors, sugar cane, fucking harvesting, bamboo. Like, I was a grown ass man at 13, bro. It's different back home. You gotta either that, you do or die, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I was all these broken promises I had to live with, because then I get here, the land of, because I didn't know, bro. I never even knew what life outside of a small little island was. So I got here, but everybody hyped it up like the land of opportunity. You're set now. You finally get to meet your parents for the first time, and that was the first time I get to meet my parents too.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, yeah, this is the land of opportunity. I'm gonna be set. It's like a Fresh Prince of Bel Air story. It's every kid's dream. Yeah, wrong. That changed fast. That narrative changed fast. I came out here living in fucking Dixie and Bloor government housing. It's like, okay. It's cool.
It's crazy, man.
I remember going to the food bank, yo. I remember going to the food bank thinking, like at the early stage, like, it took me a couple of like years to actually understand the big koal and kind of figure out the system, because again, I was new, right? But like, I remember going to like the food banks with my mom and my brother, and I'm like, this is sick. And bro, the hardest thing for me, the toughest part for me in all of this was adjusting to eating 3 times a day. Because there's so much free food everywhere. My mom was getting boxes of food from I don't even think they have that anymore.
No, food banks are busy.
They still have food banks today?
Food banks are insanely.
Yeah, but they still exist, right?
Yeah, 100%. But dude,
Wow.
if you hear anything about food banks, they are exploding with the amount of like people that are trying to get food. Also, there's a lot of international students that come from India that try to like abuse the system as well.
Food banks, eh?
But that
I didn't think they existed, to be honest, anymore.
they are bigger than ever.
Wow,
They're
okay,
huge
okay.
now. A lot of people are using food banks that never thought they would use food banks because of how expensive shit is now.
Really? I
yeah.
gotta look this up. I thought food banks were a thing of the past.
I think it said that like 3 million Canadians or 4 million Canadians are using food banks.
No, fuck
Yeah.
no. There's no fucking
Yeah,
way.
it's
Are
insane.
you serious?
It's
I
insane.
honestly thought that died off in like the
No.
90s or the 2000s.
Banks are so popular now.
Really?
They're
Oh,
so
that's
popular.
crazy.
But yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing about Canada. It's just a shitty country to live in. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you know,
That's not the best.
hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. We're supposed to get some girls today, but you know the weather and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
The girls don't come out during rainy weather.
They can't get their hair wet, man.
They
You
can't
don't
get
want
their
that.
hair
You
wet.
don't want
So,
that.
but anyways, guys, follow us on Sims Reality, Instagram, Kick, Rumble at Sims Reality. Ace, you want to give your headline?
Yeah. Gains and blockchains on YouTube and CryptoKings.ca. Get your money up, guys. Get your
Facts.
money up.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care.